Carousel and control room programs are made up of large sections of alters. These alters are usually related, and they're made so that a handler can rapidly switch alters in you to keep you confused, to keep other people confused, to develop a whole separate life that you are completely unaware that you are living, to store different languages or traits, and to pre-plan and execute certain types of missions. In real life, it really sucks to be operating from these types of programs because you're so rapidly switching in the moment that it's hard to keep track of what you're doing, and other people are also really confused. They can't get a handle on what's happening and they can't help you because you're switching so rapidly. So it's really important to get rid of these programs. The deprogramming sequence for carousel programs and controller room programs are pretty similar, so we'll do the carousel first and then the controller room programs. So starting with carousel programs, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Imagine a carousel like one that you would see at a fair, with a bunch of horses and different animals arranged on poles that are spinning around a central pole or anchor. Now come into an awareness that each of these animals is actually a different alter personality. So to deprogram all of these at once, what we're going to do is shift our perspective. So instead of standing in front of the carousel and looking directly at it, we're going to shift our perspective so that we're flying above it, and we can look down and it actually looks like the spokes of a wheel. So one thing to note is that this programming being a carousel is actually an illusion. They didn't really implant a carousel into your mind. They used basically the myelination of your neurons and the creation of different alters in a sort of roundish pattern to make it seem like it's a carousel. So what we can do is use this fact to go in and pull out all of those partitions at the same time. So we're looking down at the top of the carousel, and you can imagine it as if it's, we can shift the metaphor now. So instead of spokes of a wheel, you can imagine it's one of those apple cutters. You know, the ones that are round and they have a bunch of different blades coming out like spokes in a wheel. So we're going to transform the carousel into that apple cutter. And we'll reach down with our hands, grab the center of the apple cutter, and pick it up. And imagine that once we pick it up, all of the different sections of what used to be the carousel turn into blue gel. And they're no longer separated by this apple cutter. So we throw that away, let the universe take care of that, and recycle that energy. We return our attention back to the newly liberated alters, which we're picturing as a bunch of sections of blue gel. And just imagine them, they're no longer separated, so just imagine them melting into each other. Meld them together, and within the blue gel you can see colors and memories swirling around, coming together, no longer separated. And now imagine all of that blue gel forming into a nice round ball. And take that ball and pick it up with your hands and push it into the center of your chest. Let it sink in and integrate into the rest of your core. So we didn't have to even go through the memories in the carousel. All we did was remove the partitions, meld all of the different parts together, and then integrate them. And then later on, you can process the memories now that they're no longer separated from you. So control room programming is pretty similar. The way that a control room program shows up is as if it's literally like you open a door, you walk into a room, and there's a bunch of computer servers on shelves. And those computer servers are all housing different alters with different programming. So what we're going to do again is to, instead of walking in the door to look at the room, we're going to shift our perspective to flying above the room and looking down into it. So visualize these shelves containing the rows of computer servers and hard drives and devices. And imagine that there's a magical force pulling all of the shelves out of the walls and crushing them into a ball. So as you do that, all the shelves are flying off of the walls, and as we do that, the servers and the hard drives are all falling down to the floor with a big crash. Now take a big vacuum cleaner, and we're going to take that pile of shelving and push that into the vacuum cleaner. It sucks it up and it goes away. So now we're left with all of these hard drives. We want to sweep them all into the center of the room. And we're going to again take that vacuum cleaner, suck them all up until the room is empty. And then now you can step back outside of the room and see that it is now completely empty of shelves and hard drives. And this is great. So what we're going to do is close the door and imagine the whole thing just melting into a pile of blue gel. All of the empty walls in that room and the door just melting into a pile of blue gel. Form it into a ball. And again, bring it to the center of your chest and integrate. And there you go. That should destroy most of the carousel and control room programming.